Our next presentation is from Tietto Minerals, Mark Stryzak, who's the ED. He has more than 20 years of experience in gold exploration, resource development and operations of open pit and underground projects across the Eastern Goldfields and West Africa. Prior to joining Tietto, he was MD of Vital Metals for 7 years. So with that introduction, thank you very much, and over to you.
Yeah, thanks very much. And it was a pretty inspiring presentation from Bill, and I remember when I was at Vital following him, and one of the big keys that he said was, we never drill enough, and that's something that certainly guided us at Tietto, and we'll talk about what we've put in place there to allow us to drill and get on to build. So very simple story. It's gold. Obviously a great store of value. We're in West Africa, in Côte d'Ivoire, and you can see from the slides that we're in this phase of building a gold mine, and we're on track, as it says, to be West Africa's next gold mine and producer. And we'll run you through the story, all about drilling and building and creating value for shareholders. So just a little summary there. So, we've been very lucky to be able to attract, some great shareholders and investors, and being able to fund this project ourselves. It sits ourselves a little bit differently, but it's all about, time. Time is money. You've got to move fast and take advantage of the conditions, and I think having this funding has allowed us to execute our strategy of developing a new gold mine in West Africa. As you can see from some of those numbers there, we've got a simple open pit operation, 4.5 million tonnes, and we really view this is just the start. There's plenty of opportunity for growth to come, and we'll outline how we're looking at we're going to be able to do that. Some of the simple base there in terms of the resource, 3.45 million ounces currently open pittable, and we've got measured and indicated, so we've been working our way to de-risk, and we believe that there's further opportunities to come, both in terms of further de-risking from some of our infill drilling, and also I'll talk about some of the targets we see. We're only just getting started here, and there's a lot of blue sky, a lot of upside to come, which I'll talk about. The CapEx, I think one of the keys, and we can talk about the 7 Ps. We've been lucky to be able to pull together I think it's definitely a world-class build team, and we'll show you some of the pictures and a little video on what they've been able to achieve. But moving early last year, securing a mill, being able to secure mechanical equipment, structural steel, services and so forth. I think the big message or the big takeaway is West Africa is not Western Australia. And you're seeing there from the performance of Perseus and West Africa and some of the stellar gold producers on the ASX in terms of profitability. And we aim to be on there as well. Targeting that first gold at the end of this year in Q4, so something to look forward to. And it's been a journey, and I'll show you how we've been able to get there. Infill drilling, and I guess this is one of the keys. We really still don't know what we've got. We're starting to develop. We have measured resources, but you can see there that 1.1 metres at 2,853. I had someone yesterday at the booth, and he stopped in front of it and said, surely there's a decimal place out there. And he had a look again, he goes, 0.2% gold. So there's some really stellar numbers coming out of Abujar. And that message again is, look, we're only just getting started. We've got an incredible drilling capacity, over 100,000 metres a year of diamond ourselves, and we've added another couple of rigs this month, so we're looking to be able to increase that further and really see how big Abujar could be. So just as we talk about, obviously, we've got cash to be able to execute our strategy. And I think that really the key takeaway as we look at where the company's going within the short to medium term, there's an incredible amount of value that's on offer here. And there's some great analogies to draw from some of our West African peers as well, in that once you're up in production and then looking to optimise further, again, really this is just the start. We've been able to attract some very good, strong shareholder support. The board itself, we're all shareholders. And well aligned, and we are very focused on delivery of what we set out to, what we say we're going to do. So there's Kagan, he's currently in Côte d'Ivoire, so sends his apologies, and Fred, who is also a shareholder on the left there and a 1% owner in the project. We'll have Ting Su, our CFO, she's here today, so stop by and have a chat to us. So Côte d'Ivoire, look, it really, I think it sits out as prospectivity. It's a lot of greenstone, but in terms of being able to do work and execute and develop projects, great infrastructure. It's got hydropower, that'll be providing power to the project. So in a sense, this is green gold as well. And a very supportive government from local all the way through to the top. And it's an area, as you can see, 41 tonne of gold, and I think a lot of potential to increase that further. So just a little bit of a snapshot, some key numbers. 260,000 ounces is what was forecast from the DFS at US 651. As we talked about that hydropower, we're not seeing those escalation in power costs. Our costs are really actually coming down because it's a euro peg, it's coming down against the dollar. 1.2 million ounces at 200,000 ounces. We think, we'll talk about that production profile. We think really this is just the start. There's a lot of opportunity to build on that. Open pittable, so very simple, easy to do, and we've got a great mining contractor, EPSA, who are mobilising equipment to site. So just some of the numbers there. You can see it on the top, on the right-hand side, the three there. So some of the key takeaways: extremely early payback, less than a year at prices that we're currently seeing between 1,700 to 1,900, but also very robust. It's very low cost, so we can weather the storm. We're also unencumbered with debt, so this thing's going to generate a lot of free cash flow. You can see some of the numbers there, almost it's $1 billion US, and so at current prices. Next year's going to be a very exciting time, the potential for some return of capital. There's a lot of money being generated from Abujar. Just a little snapshot showing how that works. Look, it's about leveraging the ore body, mining the high grades first. It's obvious, you could see where that red area was. Also mining a little bit faster to use accelerated cutoffs, just standard strategies to try and bring forward value for shareholders. So that's the AG core you can see in the middle there. So that's the grade profile, unashamedly front-ended. We see a lot of opportunity to be able to grow that, but you've got that first 6 years, 200,000 ounces. The goal for us with our exploration team is to add to that back end to take it to a 10-year, 200,000 ounce project. But we really see opportunity to grow from optimisation, from further exploration, and also there's some strategies we're looking at to be able to increase gold production, and we'll talk about that later. So one of the keys with Abujar, the ore is, it's ideally suited for recovery of gold. It's got an incredible high gravity gold recovery of over 80%. The rock itself, the fresh ore, is very, very soft. It's about 11 kilowatt hours per tonne. Our peers are looking at between $19 to $25, so it's 25 kilowatt hours per tonne. So that's all. The reason I said dollars is it is dollars to be able to grind it down very small. So this allows us to sit in that bottom quartile of cost production. The ore itself, the grind size is very coarse, so again, that's going to save you cost. As I talked about, we're connecting to the grid. We're putting in a 34-kilometre 90 kV power line. Electrification will be happening in November. We've also got full backup. But that number, that hydro power that underpins Côte d'Ivoire will allow us to have very cheap power costs. So that allows us to really set this project up for a very exciting future. We've got the technical services team on foot. We've also got EPSA, been working for Perseus at Yaouré. They've got their mining fleet. It's in Abidjan coming to site. So there's some of the latest snaps from the on-site, and you can see things are moving very quickly. If you've been following the news, you see that we're been able to provide some good updates, and it's almost moving daily. So just a little animation here, just showing these are some pictures that were just taken the other day, and you can see just how quickly we've been able to move. We've got, as we said, a team led by Matt Wilcox. They've got about a decade of building projects in West Africa. Prior to joining Tietto, Matt was working for Richard Hyde at West African. We've got a great ecosystem of contractors in West Africa from Wacom, Intercom, Friedland. There's a team there that developing and executing, and I think West Africa has been a standout for execution on time and under budget. So it's definitely a great place to do business, and really we think somewhere like Côte d'Ivoire, it's only really just getting started. There's a lot of opportunity, and this build is on track for first production at the end of the year. Yeah, so there we go. So we talk about drilling and building, obviously building the mine, but we also see the opportunity to again build the gold profile, to optimize what we have. And we're currently working on a life of mine update. We had a resource model that was produced in April that's been fed to the mining engineers, and they're currently working through that. So we'll be looking forward to providing that update on the technical and the financial aspects. The other aspect is there is also the potential for a heap leach here to bring gold forward. We've got a lower grade project, APG, down at the south, and we're pretty excited about the potential for that. Importantly, our build team, Matt, has done this before with Nordgold at Bissa and Borley, took a 4 million tonne operation, CIL, up to about a 325,000 ounce producer. So there's some of the, just the snapshot there. We've got 3 tenements, 70 kilometres of strike. We're really only just getting started here. Resources have only come from the middle tenement to date. And we'll just show you where some of the drilling's been. So as you can see, from IPO in 2018, we've been able to grow our resource base very rapidly. We've also been able to de-risk it. That last resource included about 350,000 ounces of measured. There's more to come from that, and we'll talk about some of the drilling that's gone into that. As you can see there, we've got close space drilling, looking to have about 2.9 kilometres at 25 by 25 metre spacing. That's going into another resource update. That's the top 10, so some pretty incredible results. And importantly, we're also seeing some of the recent drilling just in 2022, we're seeing some of the top grades that we've been able to intercept here. So 1.1 at 2,853. I'll just show you here, this is a little animation just showing the growth of that resource from the first holes that went in there in 2015 to now. It's not often you kind of really get this snapshot of how a resource grows from those first kind of discovery holes that have gone into it. This was a discovery that's been made by Tietto, and you can see that infill going in the top, that area, that large swathe of pink and magenta is where we're going to start the mining to deliver that 260,000 ounces. Still, this gives you another, some within the top, within 10 kilometres, we've got over 20 targets from multiple corridors. You can see that's 20 corridors, that recent area in green, that's going into the next resource update, which is expected by the end of this year. Gives you the helicopter view, 70K of strike. Look, we've only just begun. There's so much upside just coming from Abujar. So that's Fred Nkanza, our country manager, working with the University of Damon to provide opportunities. This is a project that's going to generate a significant amount of wealth and opportunity for both the state and the people of Côte d'Ivoire, as well as the shareholders of Tietto. So the timeline, first gold by the end of the year. We've been able to pull together a good team that's put together the preparation to ensure that we're able to deliver what we say we're going to do. So definitely lots to look forward to, and I think the key takeaway is high grade, low cost, but an opportunity to grow this asset and to grow both the gold profile in the future. So look, thank you very much for your time today. Be down in the booth. We've got Ting Su, our CFO, as well. So it's been a pleasure to talk to you.
That's great, Mark. Thank you very much. I'm just looking around the room. We are very tight on time. Has anyone got a quick question? Otherwise, we'll keep moving. I can't see any questions. No hands raised. Okay. Thank you very much.